Alrighty, so today we're going to be jumping in and taking a look through one of Elton's videos. The title of this video is linked up with my broski Andrei Deiu for a shoulder and chest workout at Binus Gym. Full stop. Now, my name is Brandon Hibbs. I'm a professional video editor and content creator, specializing in fitness and in particular bodybuilding. So I just want to jump in on this from, I guess, my standpoint as someone who's worked in the space for a number of years now, and just, I guess, go through some of the little bits that I sort of notice when watching a lot of fitness content, and I guess a few just fundamental things that could be shifted around or changed to improve the engagement a little bit, as well as just increase the flow and the overall feel of this video. Now, this isn't to talk shit on anyone, this isn't to put anyone down, this is just, again, an outside perspective, taking a look at a piece of content and just seeing where I believe some changes could be made, not only to improve this video, but the actual content of the channel overall. Now, before we actually get into the video itself, I just want to take a bit of a look at that title. If this is something that Elton does because I guess he likes to have a bit more of a conversational piece around the title, to say an audience or the people who watch his content, then that is what it is. That's perfectly fine. In saying that, I still believe it could be trimmed down a little bit just to, I guess, condense that down. Although it might not be negative or it might not be harming things, it could also just be, again, simplified and condensed to make it a little bit more digestible and a little bit easier for people who are just coming across his content for the first time. Now let's jump into the video itself and take a bit of a look through.
That shit to make them all go dummy. Now I got bread, they all want something from me. Showing like pros, man, I told them that it's money, and I own my own bars just like it's always sunny.
So, alrighty. So, just taking a quick little look at this. So the first 30 seconds of this video, we've got a bit of an intro, so it's a bit of a edit montage. Shows a couple of clips from throughout the session. Nothing inherently wrong with this. I suppose when I look at this from an editing standpoint or from a storytelling standpoint, it doesn't really add much to it, and I'm not really getting anything out of it. So for the first 30 seconds, for me at least, I'm not, just to be honest, I'm not really engaged with this content. It hasn't really done anything to make me feel anything or to really even want to pay attention all that much. I'll go through it one more time just to, I guess, pull a little bit more from that and pull up on a couple of bits and pieces. But say, for example, again, if we're looking at this as potentially, the first time that someone has ever come to this page, this is the first piece of content that anyone has ever seen. It's not terrible, but we could be doing so much more to help build that character and help build that relationship right out the gate. And that could be as simple as putting in some audio from the session into this opening scene, something that's, again, fairly, might seem small and inconsequential, but it just helps add that extra layer and depth to the content in that first initial phase when we still have people actually on before they've had a chance to sort of bounce out and click off. The shots themselves, they're okay. They could be improved. We're getting a couple of nice little match cuts, so there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I'd just say that framing on the shots could be potentially a little bit better. We've got a lot of headroom here. And this shot, the shot from behind is a little bit odd. Yeah, like this shot here, it could be a bit tighter. We could move around a touch just to hide a little bit of this, but it's not terrible. This is just, I guess, a bit of a miss when it comes to that cut, for example. Okay, so here we've got a decent little match cut, that's fine, but we come down and we've got a completely off cut there. Now, what, again, if you're just looking at it from an editing standpoint here, you would either go for another match cut here, so we're sort of matching the movement of the reps, or we could just go with an aggressive, say, punch in here to hide what's actually going on. Now, the editor in this situation actually went with the opposite of that. They punched out to, I guess, show you a bit more of sort of what's going on and see, Elton over here as well in the shot. However, it means we do also see some other person who's just training in the background here. And personally, I do feel like it's always a better option or a better route if you can try and remove people from videos if they're not meant to be in them, or if they're not, if you haven't got consent from them. Sure, it's bound to happen from time to time, but the more you can do to just negate that, I think it's just it's a respectful thing to do, and that could have been done very well here, as well as actually added some intensity to this opening section. All we had to do here was shift to the side, a little bit, punch in, and give me a detail shot of Andrei's face right here. Give me a detail shot of Andrei's face when he's pushing through those reps, or if you want to give me something a little bit more, unique or diverse, come around, shoot sort of over the shoulder a little bit, and just give me like a top-down glance of the eye, again, while he's going for these reps. Lock your focus so that way he's not going to drift when he starts to actually push through, but show me a bit of the intensity and show me a bit of the actual emotion that's going on here. What's happening in this shot, for example, is we're on to be fair, we're not really even on an eye level with Andrei. We're almost starting to shoot down on him, which is going to make him look small. It's going to make him look smaller in the frame. It's going to make him not have that sort of just assertive power in the shot, which doesn't really match with what's going on and what he's doing. You know, we can see on his face that he's exerting himself and that he's, you know, really pushing through, but we don't get that feeling from the way that this shot has actually been positioned. Now, again, all we have to do for this, angle down a bit, punch in, get a bit closer with our actual composition, and show me some of that grit. Yeah, this whole like where it does like again like just like little micro cuts, not a massive, I'm like personally I'm not a massive fan of that. You know, I've done it a couple of times here and there. Like it's not the worst thing in the world, you know. It's better than doing like say a random like tacky little like flash or transition that doesn't need to be there, but there's not really enough that's happening in this context for it to sort of like merit or justify that that shot. Yeah, like it's just not really needed, and I wanted to like watch that again just to see, because it is one of those things where, okay, I get it, you know, it's coming off, but maybe it got stuck or it took a little bit longer, and we don't want to, you know, drag it out and show that whole thing. But to be fair, we could have just used the single shot of where it is right at the very end actually coming off, and we just go straight to, okay, it's done, it's off, it's coming over the head, rather than starting when it's, you know, at the neck height and it's coming up again and then it's coming up and over. That could have been reduced, that could have been condensed. Again, we've got a lot of headroom here in the frame. All we have to do, drop down, angle up a little bit. That'll also help us remove these people who are in the background, especially if we punch in a little bit, get a bit more compression. And if we just pivot slightly to the side here, just being mindful and respectful of other people, while also honestly showing off the physique even better.
How this shit goes, same two paths, we just pick.
Bit of an odd cut there, to be honest. Bit of an odd cut. We've got a bit of a, you know, jittery sort of like zoom out that happens at the end there. Doesn't need to be. Like, I'm not sure how this was shot, but we could have just, say for example, if that was how it was shot in camera and we're like, oh shit, if we're shooting in 50, slow it down. Drop it, like slow it down, because again, he's going into a pose, he's hitting a pose, it'll actually look fairly nice and smooth, and it'll give us enough time to remove that jitter. And it's just a little thing that helps add to the overall feel and the professionalism of the way that this is put together. We then go to this next shot where it's handheld, it's rugged, but we've got a lot of shake and a lot of micro jitters. And as someone who shoots handheld 99.9% of the time, and to be completely honest, is pretty damn good with it, it happens. It happens all the time, and it still happens. You're never gonna be completely perfect with that, but you don't have to use the shot. Like, you don't always have to use the shot. And if you notice when you're shooting that this happens, get another shot. Always get it. Like, if you think you got the shot, get it again. Always have some backups to it. Always have something else to work with it. And even to be fair, I don't know if stabilization would have saved that clip. I don't think it would have, to be completely honest, but you could have slowed it down, or you could have just honestly shot it again. Or it was a pretty quick cut, so I'm assuming there was probably more of that clip that we might have been able to use. So I'm just not sure why that in particular was selected.
From Rose, blue wanna stay, I just stuck to the code. Now they tell me that I'm driven, bro.
Again, we've got a lot of like just micro shakes, micro jitters here. That could have been solved in about 4 seconds with some stabilization, and especially for that shot, you could have just camera locked it so that way it would have looked like it was a bit more tripod, which is what it was intended for. We also have, again, a lot of headroom, and we're shooting on not the most flattering angle. It's not an atrocious angle, but it's not the best that you could with these guys, to sort of emphasize the physiques and really sort of show who they are, and just give that sort of implied presence in the frame itself.
So
cool. And then we've got a bit of an odd, just quick fade out. You know, music just drops, video just drops. It's very, very quick and sharp. And although, you know, this happens sometimes, it's not necessary all the time. I don't think it had to be necessary in that video. I'm not sure who edits this. I'm not sure what they're using, but you could have gone through, more than likely use something like AI, you know, remixer. Is it remixer? Or pretty much like the audio like length adjustment in something like DaVinci Resolve, or Premiere Pro also has it, I believe. And got that clip to actually be shortened down so it was the right time, it was the right pacing, and it could have naturally actually peaked and fallen off, rather than needing to just do a quick, you know, half a second fade, which again, it's just another little thing that sort of adds to the overall feel of how a video comes across and the emotion that it conveys and the overall just standard that it sort of upholds.
You've done that cardio.
Now, that was all within the first 30 seconds. Okay, and there's also more that could have been done to help add some emphasis to that. And I did do a quick little skip around in this video a bit earlier on, and I know there are some shots where they're actually going through and they are, you know, I guess what's the best way to put it? They are, you know, integrating some audio from the camera. That would have made, or, you know, like realistically, no, it would have made such a massive difference to have it in that first 30 seconds. Because that is something that is intriguing, it's interesting, it adds an extra cue. If you're not potentially, like, say for example, if you're not paying attention to the video, if you're not watching the video fully, having that cue gives you this mental trigger of, hey, hang on a second, something is happening right now. Like, what is causing that noise? What is causing that reaction? I kind of want to see. And you're either going to get them to start paying attention, start watching, or go back and replay that section to see what the hell was going on. And again, this is within the first 30 seconds where the main thing we want to do is hook someone and give them a reason to stick around. It might seem like a little detail, it makes a big difference. All right, let's get into the actual video.
Of course, we done abs fast. 40 minutes on the Stairmaster.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull this up. It's a minor thing that I always have to drill into new editors like immediately, which is let's hide those cuts. Okay, let's hide those cuts, especially in a situation like this where, you know, he's, by the sounds of it, he's about to change points a little bit. You know, he's just said that he's 7 weeks out from competition, and now he's going into something slightly different. Bro, punch in. Just punch in on the frame. Add a little bit of emphasis, add some emphasis, to the fact that we're changing subject, like changing topic, but you're also gonna hide the cut and make it feel a lot smoother and a lot cleaner. You could also remove a couple of the, like, you know, milliseconds either side of that to speed that up and make it flow into each other a lot smoother and a lot nicer as well. The other thing I'm gonna pull up on this is we could once again put stabilization on this footage and it would improve it tenfold over and it would make it look just cleaner. We're doing a simple handheld shot like this, and if you're getting micro jitters, it happens. Stabilize it. That'll still give you some of that nice natural fluid motion, or chuck a camera lock on it and you'll probably fix most of those. The other thing, once again, look at the headroom. We have so much headroom here that doesn't need to be, and a punch-in would fix this, and a reframing would fix this completely.
More or less what my day looks like. It doesn't look exactly like that. Sometimes it's longer.
Another thing I'll point out is we've got the mic clipped on here. It looks like a DJI Mic 2. Because he's just on cardio and he's super sweaty, like, okay, I can understand, you know, running something like this in this sort of situation. Normally, I'm pretty opposed to having mics visible and pretty opposed to seeing stuff like this. It's not that it doesn't work. It's not that it's not good audio or anything like that. For me, it's a case of wanting to convey a level of professionalism because you are a pro in this sport. You're one of the best in the world, and from my eyes, at least, I want to see you portrayed as someone who has everything put together in the best way humanly possible. And seeing something like that, it just breaks it a little bit. We could very easily put a lav mic on here, just a nice little lav mic that blends in. We run the cable, you don't see it, job done. Again, understand with the context of sweat, but from my eyes, it's still cool. Hey, chuck this on, throw this in your pocket, job done.
It's today, like, we are a bit short on time because we have other stuff to do later on. So Andrei is over there, finished his car.
We're honestly, like, we're pretty harsh on our cuts here.
You as well. It's fully locked in. It's for 4 weeks.
Very jittery, very shaky. This just comes down to getting used to holding a camera properly even, and just how to rotate on that. So rather than moving, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're locking and we're rotating at the hips. We're pivoting. We're moving. We're using our trunk. We're using our torso. We're not using our arms. And you'll remove all of that pretty much straight away.
4 weeks out now.
4 weeks out, yes.
Yeah, 4 weeks out. It's looking great. So we are still here, obviously.
Some words could have got removed in there just to help speed it up, increase the flow. The other thing, and to be fair, actually, this is what I'll pull up when it comes to this mic in particular, right? Because I mentioned about running a lav before. I've shot at Binus, multiple times. I know what the environment's like there. I know what the conditions are like. And to be fair, you don't even need to go and use something like an exposed mic. This, like, say for example, this sort of situation, because you can hear what's happened. It's the levels have had to be boosted up for Andre and then drop back down and boosted and dropped. Just try and balance it because it doesn't look like he's got a microphone on. All we needed was to run a shotgun mic on camera. Now, again, I'm not sure what this was shot on. It looks like it could potentially be something like an FX3. And if it is something like an FX3, use your top handle, run a shotgun like a Rode NTG5 and get your audio that way. Do it. It's one of the best ways you can actually get this sort of content and make it feel and sound just organic. You still get a bit of the ambience, you still get a bit of the atmosphere, you still get a little bit of that, but because you're getting that direction, you're still gonna get your vocals crispy as all hell, and it's gonna be even between both of them. Plus, you also means you don't have to see your microphone. It also means you don't need to clip it on and clip it off. You don't need to worry about any of that. It's just a case of, sweet, hit record, you're going, you're good.
Good. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Stay tuned. Collagen, this is one of my favorites for joints, the best. Creatine, if you don't know about this, you might as well just stop watching the video. Now this, citrulline malatin, this is revolutionary, bro. Every workout I take this, it helps me with vascularity, blood flow. Be good.
All right, when it comes to this, now I'm gonna phrase this in a few different ways because it depends what the context of this clip is. If this is a sponsorship, in terms of if these products are from, Elton's sponsor, like supplement sponsor, for me personally, I think that we can do a lot more here and we can actually improve the way this is done. Not only, to say boost code usage and improve the perception of, well, actually, to be fair, like there's a lot of things that we could improve here. We could improve the perception of the brand. We could improve how well it's being sold. We could improve code usage. We could improve reputation with the brand. And that's like Elton's reputation with the brand. And we could actually help get people using proper products that are beneficial to them in a way that feels genuine and authentic. Now, if we first just look at this in terms of like just, I guess, a general, recommendation or a general adjustment to things, if we just took a look at this and structured it a little bit differently and structured it a little bit better, all we have to do is frame this from a context of either, like telling a story about these products, how we first got introduced to them, what they, how they've helped, or an experience that he's had while using them. Or we can take the approach of actually just putting the brand forward and really getting behind them and showing it. And say, for example, that could be a case of, I don't know, let's just say, all right, guys, so today we're going to be taking XYZ from XYZ. Now, this is absolutely essential for XYZ for XYZ. I remember this time back in XYZ when I XYZ. Now, if you do already use these products or if you're looking to give them a shot, be sure to go to XYZ and use code XYZ. It really helps support the team over there. And to be honest, we would not be doing what we are if it wasn't for them. So show some love to the people who support us and go get yourself some of the best products that you possibly can. It positions things in a very different way, but to be honest, it gets the information across in a better way with more likelihood of actually having carryover or an impact or effect on the person who is watching it, which long term benefits them, benefits the sponsor, and benefits Elton himself.
Okay, so we're about to have a break.
Okay, got a little bit of humor there. Nothing wrong with that. Always like a fun joke.
Breakfast, a limp cream of rice. This is very easy to prepare.
Now, I am a little bit confused on this in a sense where I'm a little unsure why we started with this particular, montage, and then we've gone to cardio, and then we've gone to supplements, and then we've gone to cream of rice. Like, it feels a little bit odd to me personally, and there is a chance that this is just chronologically, well, actually no, it's not even chronologically how it's shot in a sense, because the workout footage came later, but it might have been a case, they met up at the gym, they have done their cardio, that's where they started filming for the day, then he did the sup section next, and then the cream of rice and breakfast. Like, that could have just been the order that it was done in through the day. It feels a little bit odd and a little bit jumbled. Now, I can see why you would potentially want to put the supplements here, just so that way they're getting done, first up, like, right at the start of the video. So that way, if this is a sponsorship agreement or a sponsorship relationship, majority of people are seeing it again before they sort of click off from the video. However, again, the way that this was presented in terms of like the information, it wasn't really like, and this is again, no offense to anyone, but it didn't really position the products in any way. Like, I didn't learn anything about them. I don't even know the brand that they're from. I don't know the brand. I don't know where to get them. I don't know why I should really give a shit outside of like some general basic things. So it doesn't really serve much of a purpose there. And I suppose when you think about it from a bit more of just a logical standpoint, it kind of makes sense to actually go the breakfast and then the supplements and then straight into the gym, if that makes sense. It's also one of those things where we've got this cardio section. I don't know if it needs to be there, or if, again, this is the best way to structure it. Because say, for example, what we could have done here is we get a nice little, quick intro. It could be 30 seconds, but I just look at sort of like boosting the actual, engagement of that 30 seconds. So making it something that people actually get hooked by, and or dropping down the duration of it to say maybe 15 seconds so that we get into a little bit quicker. Then from there, going straight into this sort of like breakfast scene. And even this breakfast scene could be a bit of a montage, or it could be a bit of a quick cut. And we could do that potentially instead of having the workout at the front here. Like, you've already said in the title that this is training with Andre. So people know that that's what you're going to be doing. In the same vein, they've seen the thumbnail, like they know you're going to be training with Andre, so we don't need to show him, right at the start. We don't need him to be there in the first 2 seconds, especially when you're doing like collaboration content like this. Like, let's be real, you're shooting your shot a little bit too early, if that makes sense. If we were to remove that and actually start here and turn this breakfast scene into a montage, it's something that is slightly different, because it's not footage that's going to get used again later on in the video. Like, we're not going to be repurposing, like we haven't just repurposed, like, say, the training footage and then thrown it at the start. We've actually taken something that people wouldn't have seen, and it's something that's, I guess, different in the space a little bit, and we've added that as our visual hook at the start. Plus now we're a little bit more chronologically in line with it. And what you could do here, for example, is while you're going through and you're making, your food, or after that little montage about making it, while you're just sitting there eating it, you could just say, we've already been to Benelux, we've already met up with Andre, we've already done our cardio. And while you're saying that, just cut a couple of clips over the top, just showing it. It's you two on the Stairmaster, you're sweating, or even like, a couple of like just little clips from afterwards, or you do a quick like cut back to some of the audio of you two talking. It doesn't need to take up so much time, and it would flow and feel so much better. Because I'll be honest, another thing with this video is like, it's a 22-minute video, and although I have nothing wrong with, longer videos on YouTube, absolutely love them, it also needs to be engaging throughout that duration, and cutting down that time and just making them shorter, punchier, to the point, at least initially, to sort of like get people on board and really, enjoying the content until they're sort of asking for more, hungry for more, wanting to see more. It's a much better play than, again, just drawing things out and people getting bored after the first couple of minutes and clicking off.
You can use cold water or warm water, you can cook it.
Again, I'm not sure if this is a sponsor affiliation. If it is, we could have had a much better, just integration there. I'm not even gonna say promotion, but just integration.
Whatever your preference. I ran out of the main protein I used, so today we used the veggie protein complex, 2 sachets of this.
Some stabilization on this footage.
Limp. And also I'm gonna...
A, stabilization on this footage, but B, you could have also just cut that and removed this walking around and shaking.
Show you guys health supplements that I'll take in the morning.
Again, cut it, remove the dead pause, punch in, give me some emphasis, get to the point, get to the next one. Just get to the point. Tell me what I'm here for, and get to the next point. Don't waste my time. And it might seem insignificant, it might seem minor, but if you're doing that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 times in a video, you're gonna lose me, and you're gonna lose most people.
For your colon, I think the name says it all. Lion's mane, this is very good for cognitive. So for your brain, like especially on prep when you're doing so much cut.
All right, now again, I'm not sure on where Elton is from, but this is just from my point of view as, I guess, someone who wants to put the best image forward, or put the best light forward. What he says here, that lion's mane is, good for, what was the actual word, cognitive that he used? Yep, cool. So he said it's good for cognitive. The correct word there would be cognition. So this is very good for your cognition. Not sure where he's from, and it's just how he says it or how it came out. Like there's nothing wrong with that per se, but from my standpoint as an editor and as someone who has the ability to control the story that gets put out and how it gets seen, if I wanted to make him look like he knew what he was talking about as best as possible and was as switched on as possible, I'd remove it because it was a little mistake. Like it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. But it also doesn't need to be there, and I can remove it because if we just play forward.
So for your brain, like especially on prep, when you're doing so much cardio, you're eating so low food, sometimes you just start to get a little bit slow. I like to stay sharp.
Right there. He realized that what he said didn't feel right. He realized that it might not have been the exact correct word. So what did he do? He restated it in another way that made more sense, and he gave an example behind it. All we had to do in editing there was remove the mistake and cut straight to the explanation. You're adding credibility, you're adding authority, and you're literally making him look and feel more professional and smarter.
And vitamin 1, which is vitamins. So this is all
I like that. I like that. Say a little, hey, it's a common sense fun, a little bit of a chuckle in there. That's good. Personality. Okay, this is some good shit.
Take in the morning. Gonna have this meal now, and then after that, take a shower, get ready, probably, and then leave to be at the gym in the next hour and a half.
Again, like framing on that shot, we could have just been punched in more. We could have had some more compression. It would have just added a little bit more depth to the shot. We would have removed the headroom. Nothing like, just is what it is. Yeah.
Because otherwise, I
don't know why. I don't know why that was there. I don't know why you would crank zoom at that point. It didn't really make sense to do that.
Yeah, you know.
And then back in again. Like it's just pointless. It's distracting and it's just messy.
I mean, obviously, you want it to be first thing, while your brain's too sharp. While your brain is fresh, and you want it to get.
I don't know if that's focus breathing that's going on or what's happening there.
Sharper. Say take 1.
Again, we've got the microphone that's clipped to the chain. It became a bit of a style in a sense when like Sam Sulek started, putting it onto his cap. But all you have to do is put something like a Rode NTG4 or a Rode NTG5 on a camera that can support XLR, which I'll be honest, if you're working with a top level pro athlete, you should have equipment that allows you to use the proper tools to do this shit well. You should. And then we wouldn't have to have this. We wouldn't need it. Your audio would probably sound better. It wouldn't be getting in the way. You wouldn't have to spend the time, and even though, again, it's little things, but you wouldn't have to spend the time to clip it on, clip it off. You wouldn't have to spend the time to make sure you turned it on or to make sure that your batteries are there. You wouldn't have to spend the time to set it up and do all this sort of shit. You could just press record and you're good to go.
The amount of food that I eat every day, like if for a normal person, probably 1 would be enough, but because
little things, there was a pause and then like if, that could just be removed. It would speed things up.
we're eating so much right now.
Again, that whole segment, I actually really like having it in there. I think it's good information to have. It's educational. It also shows, just shares what he's doing. Gives you a bit of an insight to the life of a professional bodybuilder who is in prep and the things that they're doing. I love that. I think it's great to have in there, but it could have been condensed. It could have been sped up. It could have been presented so much nicer. And even there are little things where it's like he could have been talking about it and we could have just put some B-roll over the top. That would have also worked. It would have added some visual intrigue, some visual interest, especially if we wanted to speed things up a little bit, but potentially hide some cuts without just doing punch-ins and punch-outs. We could have just added a couple of, extra shots in there to just make it look and feel better.
Scream of rice.
The music started to build up way too aggressive there, just out of nowhere.
The city is up in the madness. The people is giving the damage.
Like, okay, I guess, yeah, you can put a couple of shots of him doing his hair. Coloring on those clips was a bit off, to be honest, and it was a little bit odd. Again, you could do it. You could include that sort of stuff. That just could have been done nicer. And I believe where, like, this shot, hey, hang on a second. Yeah, like this shot is literally the first frame in the video. So again, we're just now reusing clips that we didn't, like we could have avoided this if we just did a breakfast montage, for example. And we could have still been at this point, but this could have been new, fresh, exciting footage that we didn't already see. Like this could be us like, cool, we've built some anticipation. We've had a little bit of like a cinematic like kick at the start with that montage, and Although it probably sounds weird to be talking about like a cinematic breakfast montage, but you're building expectation around what is going to happen and what can be done in ways that are slightly different from the way you actually want to blow someone's head off with. Okay, so we're building some anticipation, we're building some expectation, and then we're getting our rise, and then our slight, not fall, but like our slight just like mellow when we're talking about the supplements. We're going through the actual breakfast itself, and we're doing these bits and pieces. Now we're getting to the gym, and we're going from here up to here. It's fresh, it's new footage, it's things that haven't been seen. And we're able to build into that again, now with this preconceived like expectation or this knowledge that they've got from the start of, hey, this is gonna be fucking insane.
And now here at Venus, going to get this workout.
And again, I'll be honest, like the music that we had here for like, it was there for two clips. And then we're back to talking where the music's dropped. You can do that. Like, I think it's good to have like, some segue music here and there, but like, if you're gonna do that, that music was way too loud. Way too loud. Like you were building into like a full-on hype edit like that, and it came out of nowhere. And now we're talking again and we've got no music, like subtlety.
Let's go inside, let's see if Andrei is already in or if he's not. Sometimes.
Again, I can see what you're doing here in terms of like you've got, we've got framing here so that we can see the Binos sign at the same time. And maybe, Binos likes this because it gives, they're branding, their marketing out there. But we can also see, people walking in here, and this is just everyday normal people. And although I can see probably the intention behind it from my point of view, once again, as someone who just, I genuinely try and respect other people's space when I'm bringing a camera into somewhere like a gym. Okay, because it's not somewhere where everyone feels comfortable, and you just want to be polite and respectful with it. All we have to do with this shot is punch in. Elton is talking to us here. Punch in. Let me actually, see some of the emotion that he's building up. Like he's excited. He's gonna go train with Andrei. It's gonna be a good session. I don't need to see Binos's logo here. Why? Because he's said we're now at Binos. I also have the shot before this where I saw the Binos sign. I also have the title of the video, which has Binos Gym written in it. We're also about to get into a frickin' workout shot at Binos. We don't need this.
He's very good with timing, other times.
And again, it would just look more professional. It would look so much cleaner. You've just got random people walking through when we're meant to be here for Elton. Like, I'm not here to watch, these guys, and I'm pretty sure they probably don't want to be on camera. And even if they don't care, like, they're not there for that. Why are we doing this?
Only God knows.
The hero was coming, I'm locked in. You know that I'm winning, I'm top.
Okay, and here's probably a good example of it. Does it look like she's super keen being on camera? Really? And even in this shot, right, say for example, look how much headroom we have, okay? You crop in, you still get the context, but we don't have to show someone who possibly is uncomfortable. And that's not to say that she is, but if there's a possibility of that, like, it's a respect thing, man. Like, just, like...
Bionic.
Stabilization.
One of the biggest legends in the game. Yeah. We're training today.
I'm swinging.
Right there, Bionic, we had a pause, one of the biggest legends. Cool. Good bits of information. Bionic. Punch in. One of the biggest legends in the game. Give me that emphasis, all right? If we're going to emphasize on the point that he's one of the, a legend in the game, give it to me. Punch in. Don't pause and, let me see you thinking. It's okay that you thought about what to say, but I don't want to see that, and I shouldn't see that, because it makes it feel like, again, you had to think about it. It makes it feel like it wasn't the automatic response, and it removes from it. And you could have just given me a little bit more of a kick by just giving me that harsh punch in.
Just triceps.
Oh, okay. 50.
And even here, okay, now we've got Bionic's talking. He's giving us the information. There's so much going on in this frame. There's so much going on, and we can't even decide where we're focusing or who we're focusing on. All you do in this situation, or have to do in this situation, is once again, punch in, get a bit tighter on that shot, but also you could just move to the side a touch and shoot maybe over the shoulder. Give me an actual detail shot of the face so I can see the lips moving, I can see the eyes, I can have that conversation. And people do sometimes have a tendency to look towards a camera.
Just triceps.
Oh, Okay.
Oh, actually, no. So, like, to be fair, opposite here. He actually did look at Elton. So he actually kept eye contact with the person he was speaking with. Now, just imagine how this shot looks if we are over Elton's shoulder. So Bionic is talking to Elton, eye contact. We're then shooting over the shoulder, almost in line with that eye perspective. It now looks like we're being addressed, or at least we're in that conversation and we're very personally in that experience.
We're training today.
Hamstring and just triceps.
Oh, okay.
Again, you can tell the audio is a bit off here. This is where just having a good shotgun mic on top of a camera would fix the issue.
Okay. 15, 20 reps first, like to start, just to get the joint, get some blood on the shoulders. Get rid of the weird clicks as well. I feel a lot when I'm training anyways. Oh yeah, it should be good. Film this guy. The man that is responsible for a lot of success and fuck-ups. And fuck-ups too. Never forget. Yeah.
I like that. I like that personality. Again, it's good shit. Always leave that in.
Everything hurts, bro. Everything hurts, yeah. Yeah.
When's the last time we changed shoulders?
All right, so we just, I guess, got some context in a sense of everything hurts from Andre, but we didn't actually see the set. And I'm not saying that we, again, need to see every rep of every set, but for me, this is where it's like, this feels a little bit odd in terms of like, we've just, like everything hurts, but like, why? It could be you haven't warmed up yet. It could be, you know, DOMs from previous sessions or things like that, but you know, it could have nothing to do with what's going on here, but at least if we had have seen some training there, that would have given a bit more context as to why. And it would have been a little bit more relatable because everyone's been in that situation before when you start training and you get some blood in and you're like, holy shit, man, this hurts. Now, this here, like this statement, what he just said there, could have been more impactful if we just removed this montage at the front, got straight to the point, built it up. Then we had a montage in here after Elton says these words. We could have had a quick little cut of just some lat raises or shoulder exercises. Then we finish with this, break that into a segment. Now we have context as to why he's saying that. Then we have this conversation play out, and then we move to the next part. Again, this ties into what I said before about, you know, at the very beginning here, we shot our shot too early. And we played all our cards too early. You've shown me every exercise. Well, not every exercise, I don't think, but you've shown me multiple exercises, so I already have a bit of an idea on pretty much everything that's about to come play for play, with no intrigue around it, and there's no, like, I have no interest anymore. I'm also not sure what's going on with Elton's audio here, but it sounds like maybe this mic wasn't picking things up properly or something's going on. Again, a good on-camera shotgun could fix this, as well as, once again, as I've said, punch in, fill the frame properly, move a little bit. Don't shake or jitter, just drift around.
Why you just like everything?
Right now, punch in on Andrei's face. Let me feel like I'm in this conversation.
Please. Like deplete, I don't know.
I want to feel like I'm watching. I want to feel like I'm watching a movie here, and I don't.
My body's asking for the cheating.
Audio clipping.
I need to listen to my body.
Really not sure what's on with Elton's audio though. What the hell? Okay, I have no idea what the hell that camera weird jitter is. Again, this ties back to what I said before about why we just don't use the footage. Shoot more. Don't use that clip. Because why would you use that? Here again, we've got some audio that we're starting to bring in. We're starting to, bring in some noises while doing the exercises. If we were to keep, say, a workout montage at the start, that could have been used there. Like I've already said, I've given reasons as to why I would actually remove that from the beginning, so I wouldn't even go that direction to start with, but it would have been nice there. It would have at least added some depth having it in that position. Also, looking at this shot, come on, man. Andre is on his phone. I'm not saying that Andre shouldn't be on his phone. Very busy man. He's got a lot going on. Maybe he just likes to chill out between his sessions. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I scroll on Instagram all the time when I'm training in between sets. But I don't need to see it. I don't need to see this. Get me a good shot of Elton here. Like, I don't even think he's in focus in this shot. Get me a nice low angle. Get me a nice sweeping shot. Get me some slow-mo. Get me something. Okay, cool. We've punched in, but realistically, if we just pivot slightly to like slightly here, we remove this. If we then come over the top of the shoulder and we shoot down, like, you know, just past Elton's eye, we're adding some depth to this. We're showing some emotion behind this. We're not just filming a set. We're telling a story about what's going on in his mental state, prepping for this show. I fucking hate when people do this. It's fucking tacky, man. It is. It's fucking stupid. It's simple. It's fucking stupid. Like, will I do like a track shot, like to follow emotion? Yes, but you track and then you hold. What the fuck is this? Not to mention, like, this set has just gone on way too long. It's gone on way too long and there's been no intrigue added to it. That was good. See, that was nice. You know, we get that last rep, boom, nice little crash zoom as we're finishing. That's good. That's some good shit. Okay, we're now getting the exact same shot from the exact same position. Like, you are shooting with two top level athletes, and this is what you do. And again, this isn't to talk shit. This isn't to, you know, hurt anyone's feelings or be an asshole. This is just from the perspective of someone who has spent a good portion of time and a good portion of their life building up in this space and working in this space. And it's, you know, it's a similar vein to when it comes to, like, you know, the respect of other people in a gym and trying to avoid them in a shot. It's respect for these athletes and it's a respect for the caliber of talent that they are. Okay, and the work that they put in. You don't go half-assed with this shit. You don't be lazy with this shit. Like do it properly. Nice. Crash zoom. Good shit. See, now look at this, right? So, and I pull this up, right? Because this shows very clearly that we have the equipment. We have the ability to get shots like this. Now, this shot, if we cross-reference this or compare it to any other shot before it, this looks better. About 100 times over, this looks better. It looks punchy, it looks gritty, it's got detail, it's got depth. Oh, and the audio, it works with it here. Again, it's a little bit muffled because we're using just a clip-on, you know, like DJI, and it would be nicer if we had a proper shotgun or something like that. But it has emotion. Okay, and we lost it again. Okay. Okay. I've used shots like that before. I've kept shots in like that. Like, you know, it's normal to move around when you're filming, and I've definitely left it in there before. If it's motivated, and if it has a purpose and a reason, if it adds something to it. But like, did that add anything? Or did it add anything? Like, I'm just gonna see, does this clip keep going? Okay, so the clip doesn't keep going there. So I could potentially see, I guess, yeah, a bit of a reason for why you would leave that in, because we did like the audio snippet that came along with it. However, okay, no, sweet. So let's just take a look at this. Okay, so crash zoom. All right, we have the crash zoom as it's coming in. We cut on the motion. Okay, I think his arms are about here. So we cut on the motion as he gets to here. We go to another set because we can see that there's been more sets filmed and there's probably more footage of it. We cut to another rep where he's doing this and we're in this position moving up, and the motion of the zoom and the motion of the arms is going to completely hide that. It's going to make it look seamless, and your brain is going to go, ooh, that was juicy. That was nice. Potentially, you even have another clip that had another crash zoom in it, and we could mash those two together and get this just nice little blend together. Now, you still want the audio that you got at the very end here because it's good. It helps add a little bit to it, and it's like, oh, fuck, that was intense. The arms are here. Okay, we're still doing a rep. Okay, we got another rep in there. So let's say, for example, after the crash zoom, we cut to another angle, we do a rep. We go back down. We go up for another rep. And as we're going up on that second rep, okay, so we're still adding depth, but we're not dragging things out too much. As we're coming up on that next rep, we cut back to this clip. We see the rep get finished. That way we remove that weird jitter and we still get the audio soundbite. Music's too loud. I've listened. I've heard this song so many times at this point, and you know I've edited to this song before as well. I'm guilty of it. I think it's just like, again, because I know I've heard it so many times. I'm like, I know there's, unfortunately, like, it's from Artlist. It is like, you know, a licensed royalty song. Like, it isn't like, you know, cheap, shitty royalty free music or anything like that, or like elevated music, but when it comes to, you know, the music that's out there and available in, you know, the licensing space, this song, to me at least, it kind of has that connotation because it's just a little bit, We're not looking to change. Camera shake doesn't need to be there. This is a shot where it's good to have Andrei in there. I like this, but all we have to do is just turn, come around a bit more in front, okay? Come around in front. Because and this is, I think, the third or fourth shot now that we've been in the same position. You should stay in your lane, foot on the gas. I do not care if I crash, as long as I stick to the plan. What is the plan? I cannot lie for none of you, long as I know who I am. I'm in control. Got it. Why the fuck did we, like, why were we there for so long? And then we slipped focus and we still stayed there. And then I'm pretty sure we cut and we just, like, and we even missed motion. What is the plan? I cannot lie for none of you, long as I know who I am. I'm in control. Okay, no, we did. Okay, so we cut at the peak. We cut at the peak and we did a match cut. We could have cut midway and done it through motion. Would have worked better. Good shot. This is a good shot. Like that's awesome to have in there. We could have got here so much faster. It's a shit shot. Like that's just a shit shot. And we've also just like completely cut from one side to the other side. Like, no, plus your headroom, plus I've got this random guy over in this corner. Like, come on, bro. It's always hypocritical. In control, nothing more than the minimum. Can't stop now. I'm a run. Till I'm post. This is good. See, this is good. This is good. Why did we have that little odd zoom out there? And why is this shot, like, if we had started with this shot and then cropped it in post and reframed it so that we had a bit more detail, this would have been a really, really good shot, okay? And it would have negated what I just said before. I wouldn't have cut directly from where we were to this. I would have had a segue clip in between so that it didn't feel as jarring to this massive, like, just perspective shift. But this is a good shot. I thank God how he held me down the most. Now. You might have been able to get away with using something like this as a segue shot. Why the fuck are we doing this, man? Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit agitated on this because it's just frustrating to see. Like, it's very frustrating and it fucking throws me off. Like, it's discombobulating to watch. Audio clipping. You're shooting on a DJI Mic Pro, like the Pro 2s. Man, they have 32-bit internal recording. If you clipped your audio, use the internal. Plus, we're trying to blend, like, you know, mic audio with music here, but the levels haven't changed. It's just messy. This could be such a good shot. This could be such a good shot, man. If this was just moved slightly. And stable. Like, imagine this shot, right? But we're over, like, say, Andrei's shoulder. You know, like slightly off over Andrei's shoulder, and we're seeing down past the eye, and we're seeing the arms come up. We're seeing the support, but we're seeing just down past the eye over Andrei's shoulder. Like, that is a powerful, powerful shot. Then we move around and we get a detailed shot on the eyes. Powerful shot. Instead, we got this. I can also now see our camera guy in the mirror. Like, it's the risky play with, you know, shooting when there's mirrors around, but you don't, again, need to use the shot. One, this set shouldn't have been filmed here, and you could have just moved. Like, you could have moved so quickly and efficiently to get this shot perfect, and you also wouldn't have been in the mirror, and you wouldn't have been seen in the mirror through that transition either.
Time to waste my time. We don't slow down. You can be in dimension. Big dog in dimension. We be aiming for the fences. I'm in a different dimension. Why y'all be riding the benches? Y'all could just step through the tension. Graduated from the trenches. No Kevin gone. I ain't never need a handout on my tooth.
Audio clipping.
I'ma stand. I ain't never take a look.
Okay, a little crash zoom out. It was rough, but it could work. I would just use, like, I would then look for another crash zoom or another like pull out shot that I could use to blend those two together, so it adds a little bit more to it and it doesn't make it feel jittery and jarring. Either do that or don't use the clip or end it at a different point, because the way it's in there, it just doesn't serve any purpose. It just looks off.
Now we're gonna start now at the top.
We're back to the same shot. Same shot, same position, same exercise. We are 8 minutes in, we are one exercise in, and we've seen 3 angles. Okay, we've got a new angle. Not a good one. And like, I'm not even saying that like, say down, like shooting down is bad. I've recently really started to appreciate this sort of shot, because again, when you think about it from a technical standpoint, it just conveys a different emotion. You know, like when we're shooting up at someone, helps convey that power, helps convey that strength, helps convey that just when we're shooting down towards someone, it makes them feel a little bit, you know, small in the frame. It's a bit more, you know, grittier, like darker and moodier and things like that. And when you look at it in this context, for example, when we're shooting down on someone's eyes in particular, like this shot needs to be a little bit further around, it needs to be tighter, we need more compression and we need more depth. But the angle could even be potentially a little bit higher. But what you're gonna do in that situation is you're gonna convey the emotion that Andrei is fighting some fucking demons right now. Like he's in fucking war mode and he is going at it. Instead, we have a shot, like it is a shot. That's about it. Again, we've got mics on. What's happening to our audio?
Oh my God, bro.
See, now it's okay to have like shots that, you know, draw out or a little bit longer from time to time, and that was probably like a really good use case of it. That was a really good example of it. That clip had, you know, some power and some emotion behind it. Unfortunately, you know, again on camera we should have been locked in a bit more and we shouldn't have had those little shifts towards the end of it, but that at least made sense, and that did have an emotion towards it. Did we need to be there for that many reps? Nah, not necessarily, but if you want to draw out the time a little bit in the video, like, you know, for say for AdSense or to add extra ads in or to help boost those overall watch hours, like I'm not going to get mad at that, and I think that, you know, can be a fun, smart idea here and there. But what we should have done before that is built enough like mutual respect from the audience and from the people who are viewing it to where we can merit spending a little bit extra of their time. If we're gonna do that, earn it. Like actually, to be fair, earn it and make it a payoff. Like that could have been such a good payoff. If we're, you know, faster, we're more to the point, we're sharper, we're snappier, and then we get that shot. We have one shot that draws it out and gives us a bit more just time to be in the moment and be in just that environment. Powerful shot.
Even the cough doesn't want to stay here, bro. It's a trend cough. A trend cough, yeah. Okay, you do a press.
Framing is odd.
Asito.
Yeah, you know, he watched it for a long time.
See how much better this shot looks than where we've been for the last, what, 10 seconds? And then we're straight back out again. And we're back to doing this again. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Bro, if someone sent me these files to edit, I'd be fucking furious. I would, like, I'm sorry, but like if someone on the team sent me this, I would fucking drop them. Like either they're dropped from the team or they're going through some serious training again. That was good. That was good. We got some fucking interactions, some emote. Like that was good. I want more of that. And to be fair, like this song kind of slaps a little bit. This shot just could be nicer. Give me some compression, please. Give me some compression. Give me some proper angles. Give me some.
Yeah. Normally I do like 15, 20 reps here, but I didn't sleep too well. This is he's supposed to be our trainer that pushes, but today you slapped us.
You wake up late. You wake up late.
This is why we're not getting trained. It makes sense now. It makes sense. Yeah. We're not that one.
Why is that? Man, why are we clipping audio on every shot? Like we're using mics that have 32-bit internal recording.
He's back, adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original.
Why am I seeing homeboy back here?
I'm not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind in their beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3.
How much nicer does that shot look than where we just were for the last 10 seconds?
Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy because they all here with we at. You better believe that.
And again, how like this shot looks nicer than where we were at the start. Okay, it'd be nicer if we punched in a little bit more, but why the fuck did I see the moving between them? You had clear reps. You could have just cut.
It's all said and done.
What was your pre-workout meal? What did you have? Huh?
Okay, I didn't quite hear that, but again, you know, having some like emotion in there, some banter, I like. We're out of focus, and we've got a guy doing tricep extensions in the background. We're still out of focus. Why didn't we just start the clip like when we were in focus? And also, like, again, why don't we just move so that we don't have this guy in the background? Like, get my focus back on Andrei and be respectful to this guy. Like, sure, you might want to show how many reps he's doing or whatnot, but like, really, we're going to use out of focus footage to do that?
7. Come on. 8. 2 more. All yours, bro. Score yours. 9. One more.
Bro, this is painful. I'm sorry, but this is actually kind of painful to watch.
Yeah, very good, bro. Striations here on shoulder needs to come.
That's good. That camera spin, we didn't need that. We could have just held. Andrei was talking. We could have just held there.
Yeah, bro. Good.
What I'm saying, like, you know, the background of the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we could have added so much more emphasis to Andrei there, and we could have just given Andrei like the ultimate, like, you know, perspective of wisdom in that. Like, we could have framed him and positioned him in a way that just put him in that ultimate authority position where, you know, like.
Yeah.
I think when you come out,
The first pose.
stop like this, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like this.
Yeah.
And then
Walk and then do your pose.
And like that would have fit in so well here because you can clearly see that Elton like respects Andrei, like respects him as an athlete, respects him as a creator. You know, they're running through his posing. He's asking for some information about it, some tips, or like, you know, they're just like doing some back and forth on it. If we had have just taken that shot before and just positioned Andrei as, you know, like that authority figure while Elton was going through a couple of his mandatories, that adds so much more depth to this shot.
I think like it's more obliques, like super short, instead like that.
So you can, show the obliques, for sure. For sure.
Okay, it's a bit of a nothing shot again. And if we just take a, I guess, an approach, right, to add a little bit of diversity to the things that are being done and how it's being done, right? We've got mics on both people in this situation, so we can separate our audio between them, okay? What happens if, like, say for example, and this is just an idea, okay? We've got Elton doing the reps, okay? But we don't use the mic that's on him. We don't get, you know, the sound of him while he's doing the reps, because we've had that already. But you can hear that Andrei is counting in the background. You can hear that he's counting reps. So what if we take this shot, we just take the audio of the reps being counted, and we just add a little bit more emphasis or a little bit more punch, either, you know, maybe with some music, or, you know, change the angle a little bit where it's just like a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more moody, a little bit more like just fucking locked in, just like going at, like just tunnel vision of like I said before about that shot with Andrei, where it's like fighting some fucking demons. Okay, if we do it, yeah, even if we do like a bit of a, you know, upward like shooting down angle, and we sort of like convey that through the shot, then we just have we have a scene where we've got Andrei's authority figure. We've then got the relationship being sort of like flushed out and built out, where we have them interacting, where again, he's like, you know, asking for some guidance, or they're going through it again, just like showing that mutual respect. We then go into a shot here where Andrei is again, just the voice in the background while Elton is doing those reps, and while he's in that place. You know, we've had Elton talk to Andrei about, like, say, posing and about how he does it and why he does it. We're now in Elton's head as he's just like fighting those demons, and we've got the voice of Andrei in the background counting those reps out, counting those reps out, counting those reps out, and nothing else. How do you think that would feel? Like, what do you think that shot would convey? Instead, we have this. Brother, we're out of focus and we're moving like crazy. We've seen too many reps that we didn't need to see, and then we start doing this shit. Okay, the tonality on this music is so far off what it should be. This is so far off what it should be.
I like this without, like this. Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I'm coming your way this way up. See me taking no L. You don't play us. We got down and fly to the lights. I'm just gonna stay up. Remember last year I told them I wanna pay up. They hear me, they come too late. Oh my God.
Audio clipping, the shot has emotion, it could be conveyed better, it could impact more. And again, it also comes down to like the pre-framing of this moment could have impacted more. The music, I can already hear it starting to build up way too aggressively, way too loud.
Me and my guys, we did it ourselves, so no one can say that they made us. They gave me shit, they trying to guard me. I told them you gotta go straight up. We eating for days, I've been in the gym. I swear that I'm getting my...
9, one more. Yeah.
Okay, good shot. Good shot, good sequence. I like having the audio in there. I like having like that. It could have been executed a bit better. Like the whole, like, you know, spin around with the camera. The shot could have stayed where it was, or if you did want to get a different angle, there was actually time there, like where it probably could have just been, cut, and we just remove like that spin, and again just help like just keep things focused and on point. That distraction, framing in general, could have been a bit better.
1, 2.
I get it with counting. I get it with counting reps. We've done it multiple fucking times at this point for the same exercise.
2 more. 7, one more. Yeah.
Cool. We could have come straight in there. We could have come straight in on the 2 more. Like, we're getting to like the meaty end of it. We didn't need the rest of that.
Woo. Very good.
See, like, that was a good clip if we just cut out the bullshit at the start. I could see something like that working, where, you know, we're sort of slowing it down, where, you know, like we've just had like a, you know, big aggressive sort of like set to finish things off, and we want to slow things down and just sort of like ease back into it. I can see that working. Execution, it just could have been better. And then we get a lot of movement again, we get a lot of jitter, and I think we're fucking tracking the arms again here like this already. Like we're cutting when we're midway through fucking like, you know, like audio.
Ooh. Coming closer to the end now. Got this rear exercise, just one, because yesterday we done back. So we activated the rear quite a lot.
Again, really good to have this in there, but it could have just been implemented nicer. It could have been got to better. You could have even, if you wanted to, again, just like condense things and like speed it up and like increase the overall flow of it. You could have had the audio start to build up where he's actually like going through and talking about this while those exercises, like while those reps are getting done in the last shot, and then you like just cut into it, like when he's like midway through talking.
So we're gonna do
that would have increased flow, speed, momentum, and would have built into what he's saying.
This exercise, and then we're gonna do 2 chest exercise. 1 press and something like a fly pec deck maybe, just to get that contraction in the middle, and that should call it a day. It's been a very good session though. That's one thing I must say. Very good.
While we're using this shot, the focus is breathing like crazy. Ah. 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 Just don't use the shot. I swear, if this shot here is clean, we punched in, the shot got clean, it cleaned up and looked good, which we could have just started there, so that we got rid of all the bullshit happening at the front end. But then as soon as we had a shot that looked good, we decided to move. And also keep in the moving. Again, we're cutting into like hot, like, you know, at the end of a rep when we're through audio and things like that. We're showing people coming out of the bathroom. And what did that add? Like, what did that clip add to anything? Give me a shot over the shoulder, just past the rear delt. And also stop shooting people coming out of the bathroom. And what the fuck am I watching? See how good that shot looks? You see how good that shot looks?
Oh, man.
You see how good that is?
Okay, hard, bro.
You see how good that is?
No use to train after breakfast only. I need more food, more fuel. Now we're here, getting it done.
Music starts to build too early and too harsh at the end, and is also a bit off tonality, but that was a good shot. More of that, please. More of that.
Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it now, I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen, now we not a minute late. Seen him
I think you already know I'm just gonna say the framing on this is shit.
chatting numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a dumb. I'm just looking, and now we not a minute late.
Hey.
I don't have much. I really don't know how much to add, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to add much more, because this honestly just feels like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. I didn't think I was going to get so frustrated and agitated watching this, but this is genuinely actually starting to piss me off a little bit. Similar to what I've said, where it's just like, I don't feel like this is respecting my time or my attention as a viewer, and I don't think that it's respecting these athletes for the athletes that they are. And it's just a shame. It is a shame to see, and it could be so much better, so easily. And it's hard to say that with also trying to say like I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to tear anyone down or be a dick about it. I'm just being honest.
3.
Like we're focused on the handle here. We don't actually have focus at all.
5.
Did that music just cut? Like did that music just cut from nowhere?
3. 5.
The fuck? What the fuck was that like weird smile that we like had for a second? Like you know, it could be in there if it again had context or it had a reason to be there, but otherwise like just get in on Andre here. Like we've got so much leeway room to the left hand side here that doesn't need to be there. We've got him teeny tiny down here. I see all this like water bottle and shit around a fucking trash can, and I see Elton having a conversation with someone off screen. Now tell me, right? If we've got this shot here, okay, what was the point of having the shot before it? Besides literally just wasting time. And honestly downgrading the overall feel and look of the entire goddamn video. Fuck
me. Let's see what the condition.
Do I comment on that? Or is it implied by the reaction? Fuck.
And it's looking like?
Hang on a second. Did we do that? Didn't we do that at the start? Like we had this like t-shirt, like we had this shirt reveal because I got annoyed that it did this like triple cut, and yet we just did it here and we didn't have the triple cut. And did you see how much cleaner that looked?
Let's see what the condition is looking like.
We literally did. We did it. Why the fuck did we have that shot at the start? How much nicer did that look? If you put those two side by side, it was faster, it was more efficient, it was cleaner, and we weren't in the literal most important part of the video, which is hooking someone's attention and setting their expectations. Good physique. Very good physique. We've got some random person that's just like walked past and distracted me though, and she doesn't look like she wants to be on camera. All we have to do here, shift to the side a little bit. Again, Binos is a busy gym. I know the layout of this gym. All you have to do here is just pivot to the side, angle your camera up. You'll fill the frame. You'll actually give a better perspective as well, because like, you'll actually give more, I guess, of like a judge's perspective. It's one of those things, because I've worked covering bodybuilding shows for multiple years now. Like a judge isn't watching a physique from front on. Like they're not. They're watching it from a lowered down position. So we want to emulate that, especially when we're trying to show a physique. Like shit. Yeah, she does not want to be on camera, man. Like she, come on. And like she doesn't want to be on camera, and the focus is just literally pulled to her. It's like that. I'm sorry, but that's disrespectful. And like it's okay, like, if it happens, it's all like it's not all right. But it's like, why is this in? Like, why is this clip still here? Why didn't we cut? Why didn't we slow this footage down if we needed to draw out the time? But why is this here? Okay, it was a quick little like in and out, but again, all you had to do was cut that, punch in, because he was just adjusting anyway.
What up, say? One time for the hometown, I got
some stabilization would go a long way on that clip.
it's real. 2 times.
And some more compression. Can't tell I love compression. It looks sexy.
Notice how the shit feel.
The
3 times for my family dog, cause this shit done paid our bills. And I get 4 times my net worth from a year ago with no deals. Did it all by myself, I don't need nothing. Tried 100 songs, I'ma keep coming. Remember times they wouldn't reply, now they all hit.
See the tap? Good. Everything before that, fucking pointless.
Like they need something.
Bro, we've even got kids just running in the background, like.
Yeah, but I seen it all. Seen a post and I seen a haste when it hit me.
What's going on here? Why? Just why?
Now I ignore the calls, no time for it, just being honest.
And we're still here. We didn't realize that maybe this probably isn't appropriate or doesn't add anything to what we're seeing.
Way back, I said I got it. Same
Focus lip.
got same shit, nothing changed. Set the pockets, money came, I got a profits. Bet it all, put it honest.
Headroom.
In the past, I said I'm next, but I'm here now. I was being modest. One time for the hometown, I got love for it. It's real.
Okay, it's nice. It's a cool shot.
Yeah, 2 times for the haters, man, 'cause I noticed.
Bro, are we pointing toward the women's bathroom? Are we shooting towards a women's bathroom?
That's how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, 'cause this shit I'm paying our bills. And I get 4 times my net worth from a year ago, but no deal. 1 time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. Yeah, 2 times for the haters, man, 'cause I noticed how this shit feel. 3 times.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I get it. I knew it was gonna be like, I'm probably gonna be a broken record. I keep saying the same shit, but I'm genuinely baffled and astonished at what I'm seeing. Okay, you can get a close detail shot of the chest, but like that's not how you get there. And like that's also not the frame, and that's also not the framing for it. You see how we're shooting, right? Towards a female fucking bathroom?
Yeah, I like it like that, bro. With both hands like hanging. Yes, yeah. Instead of one on the waist. Yes.
By the way, I can also guarantee this shot would look better from the other side pointing up. Like, we're shooting, like bro, you're seeing, like, you've somehow managed to find Andrei's waist. He has one. If you come around the other side, that waist is fucking gone. Because Andrei doesn't have a waist on stage. And yet here we found it.
So thick like that. Because I think your arms are so thick that when you do this, it makes your arm look even bigger. But if you leave it out, you don't show your tricep as much. Because your arms are just fucking huge, bro.
What can I say? I'm blessed.
Shame that is not everything else.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up now. I'm getting pissed off at these little fucking film burn, fucking camera shutter, fucking transitions. Like, do you think that's cool? Do you think that adds anything? Because it doesn't. Really doesn't. We're still shooting towards a women's fucking bathroom as well. And like we're shooting towards a women's bathroom. We've just got a lady just standing there. And then we fixed it. See how we fixed it? See how we fixed that straight away? Now I have no idea that there's a bathroom there, and I have no idea that there's a lady just standing out front of the bathroom. We could have started the clip here. We could have started on the crash zoom here. Instead of your film burn, instead of the film burn and the flash, we could have just started on that zoom in and been right here. About what, 5, 6, 7 seconds sooner as well.
It's not finished yet, yeah? Wait.
I like that shot. Could be centered, but I like that shot. Again, if you just drop this down, actually, like that'd be fucking sick. Like, oh, like this, yeah, this shooting up, power shot. Fucking power shot. Yeah, man. Yeah, like it looks nice there, but like again, you just like tilt that a little bit. That's like that. Okay, we're back to having random dudes just chilling in the background that don't need to be seen. I'm now seeing Elton fucking posing and like, you know, just checking himself out in the mirror as well, which, you know, you could argue is like a funny little tidbit to notice, but it also, you know, that probably wasn't the intention behind it.
So we've now finished our
The audio is only coming out the right channel. Elton's mic is only coming out the right side. That is 2 buttons, like two clicks, maybe 3 on DaVinci. You can fix that. Not only is it only coming out one side, it's coming out the right side, and he's on the left side, so it's not even like, you know, it's like technically matched to where he's coming from.
test and shoulder workout today.
Oh. Yeah. Andrei's holding a mic in his hand. So Andrei is holding a mic here because he doesn't have anything to clip it onto, but Elton's mic is coming out the right channel. Andrei's is coming out the left channel. So we're doing split channel recording here, which is good. That's what we want. That's fabulous. But we haven't then gone in settings and duplicated the tracks and actually just turn them into stereo so that we get the audio coming out both sides. And not only that, they're coming out the wrong fucking side for like where they're positioned on screen.
On Saturday, I hope you guys.
How does that not get noticed? How is this not noticed?
Enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have had fun. We tried to bring you in as much as possible and see more like what's the vibe like when we're training. A bit playful.
Yeah, we played full, and today we only train after the first meal. We usually train after 2 meals.
Yeah.
So the energy at the beginning was a little bit low, but it's going better. It's getting better.
So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what else would you like to see.
Leg day next.
See, I like the end there. I like the end there. You know, the whole like spin and fade. I do that all the time. It's one of my main things. To be fair, the smoothest way to do that, oddly enough, is actually you don't wait for the whip back. Like most of the time, you just do it as it's still in that first motion, and you fade across that. It goes like really smoothly to black. Again, there's been times where I've done it like this, and it's minutiae little details and things like that. But yeah, I mean that's okay. So that's the video. Again, I'm not sure who shot this. I'm not sure who edited this. I'm not sure if Elton, you know, gets someone to shoot this and then he edits himself. I don't know what the back end is of it. But just being brutally honest, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. That's my logic, my reasoning behind it. If this was submitted to me for review, if this was submitted to me for review, I would almost just scrap the project and say, hey, we have to shoot this again. Like we have to start fresh. There's potentially some stuff that could get done to improve it here and there, but like I don't think I could even say, for example, like download this video, recut the clips and make it much better. Again, there might be footage that say wasn't used originally, or this, that, and the other, or there might be like sections of clips that, you know, could have been used instead. But man, it was rough. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it gave a little bit of insight and, you know, I guess a little bit of education and entertainment at the same time. Again, this isn't to be a negative Nancy. This isn't to tear people down or be an arsehole about it. This is just to call some things out when I see them, and hopefully strive for just some excellence in the industry. Like I want to see people doing better. I want to see content expanding. I want to see content growing. I want to see content getting, you know, better. And I also want to see it having a better return, better result for top athletes, for top coaches, for people who are actually, you know, producing this or paying even more so to have this produced for them. Like I want to see this stuff doing well. And I think that it has no reason not to. Like you've got 2 of the best physiques that you could possibly have in a room together training. And that has potential to do like so much more, even like such huge potential. And it's just a bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a shame to sort of see it get, you know, used and put together that way. But Again, hope you did enjoy. If you have any questions on this, please do let me know. And if you are, looking at actually having someone take over on content, be that shooting, be that editing, be that, the whole back-end automation, and actually, getting, say, platforms like YouTube monetized, and actually going down the route of turning content into a profitable business that runs alongside everything else that goes on, let me know. Get in touch. I'm more than happy to, again, go through things with an even finer tooth comb, and really put a plan in place to just bring something new to the industry and really help it grow and expand in a way that not only represents the athletes well, the community well, but also actually inspires change in people, and is something that people want to watch, and actually it causes them to take action to better themselves in life. Outside of that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.